Your phone buzzes with a favor you already want to refuse. Hey, can you help me with something? Your thumb is already typing sure, but before you hit send, pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself, if I knew this person wouldn't get upset, angry, or judge me, would I still want to say yes? That's the first question in the test. Because the difference between kindness and fear is whether you help. It's whether you're free not to. If yes comes out before you've had a chance to choose, your kindness may be costing you more than you realize. Your time, your energy, and eventually, your ability to know what you actually want. Think about the last time you agreed to help someone when you really didn't want to. Your body usually knows before your mouth does. Your shoulders tighten, your stomach sinks, you look at your calendar and let out a quiet sigh. For one brief second, every part of you wants to say no. Then a thought cuts in. What are they going to think of me if I don't help? So you say no problem. The anxiety drops right away, but a few hours later something else shows up. Resentment. You agree to meet up, then secretly hope they cancel. You take on more work, then feel irritated that no one notices how overwhelmed you are. You say, it's fine, then quietly wait for the other person to figure out that it isn't fine at all. That's the first cost of always saying yes. On the outside, you're protecting the relationship. On the inside, you're slowly checking out of it. And that relief you felt when you said yes, that's the mechanism. If agreeing repeatedly makes the tension disappear, your brain can start treating yes as the safe answer and no as a threat. And the other person may have no idea. They can only hear the answer you actually gave them. They can't respect a boundary you never expressed. Every time you agree while wanting to say no, you unintentionally teach people that their request works for you. Not necessarily because they're selfish. Maybe they simply believe you. But if this happens long enough, other people aren't the only ones who lose track of your limits. You do too. You may think you're just the person who's always willing to help. But sometimes what keeps you available isn't the desire to give. It's the feeling that you're only safe when everyone else is happy with you. Some people learned early that being liked was tied to being useful, agreeable, or easy to deal with. Maybe saying no made the room go cold. Maybe it led to an argument, a guilt trip, or hours of silence. Not everyone who struggles to say no has a history like that. But once yes becomes the safe answer, a normal request stops feeling like a choice. It starts feeling like a test of your worth. Am I still a good person if I say no? Will they be disappointed in me? Will they still need me after this? But here's the part that's easy to confuse. Someone can be disappointed by your decision without disliking you. A conversation can be uncomfortable without the relationship being in danger. And feeling guilty doesn't automatically mean you did something wrong. Sometimes you're not actually trying to avoid rejection. You're trying to avoid the discomfort of someone being unhappy with you. That's how the pattern pays you now and charges you later: relief in the moment, then exhaustion, procrastination, or resentment. Now for a slightly uncomfortable question. If you help someone mainly to prevent their disappointment, is the action entirely for them, or is part of it helping you escape your own guilt? That doesn't mean your kindness is fake. One action can come from more than one motive. You can genuinely care about someone and still be afraid of what might happen if you say no. The real question isn't whether you're kind. It's whether you're free. Can you think about the request and then say yes? Or does yes come out before you've checked in with yourself? Can you help without quietly keeping score? Or do you wait for the other person to notice how much you sacrificed? Can you say no and still believe you're a good person? That's where the other two questions in the test matter. The next time someone asks you for something, pause for 10 seconds. Question 1. If I knew they wouldn't get upset, angry, or judge me, would I still want to say yes? Question 2. If I agree, will I secretly expect them to pay me back, notice my sacrifice, or feel guilty? Question 3. Am I choosing this, or am I just trying to escape the discomfort of saying no? You don't need a perfect answer. You just need an honest one. If you're still not sure after 10 seconds, don't make yes your default. Use a bridge instead. Let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. That simple sentence creates space between someone else's request and your automatic response. Inside that space, choice comes back. Next, practice with small no's. Don't start with the hardest confrontation of your life. Pick something low stakes. Today doesn't work for me. I can't take that on right now. I can help for 30 minutes, but I can't do the whole thing. A boundary isn't always a hard yes or no. Sometimes the better question is, how much can I give without abandoning myself? Then watch what happens. Maybe the other person just says, okay, and moves on with their day. Maybe they're a little disappointed. Maybe you feel guilty, even though you didn't do anything wrong. Don't immediately use that feeling as proof that your decision was wrong. Emotions are information. They aren't always instructions. When you start setting boundaries, your relationships will give you more information too. Some people will adjust quickly, some will need time because they're used to you always being available, and some may pressure you or try to make you feel guilty. That reaction doesn't automatically make them a bad person, but it does reveal something your constant agreement used to hide. Is there room in this relationship for both people's needs? That's why boundaries can feel scary. You don't just risk disappointing someone. You may discover that a relationship only runs smoothly when you're the one who always gives in. But if the relationship is peaceful only when you're not allowed to have limits, that peace is being paid for with your silence. Now go back to the message from the beginning. Hey, can you help me with something? Your thumb is ready to type sure. This time pause for 10 seconds. If you weren't afraid of being judged, would you still want to say yes? Are you giving because you choose to, or because you can't tolerate the possibility of someone being disappointed? And after you agree, will you feel warmth or quiet resentment? Kindness and fear can produce the exact same answer. But only one of them lets you remain yourself after you give it. Next time, don't ask only, can I help them? Ask one more question. Can I help them without abandoning myself? If the answer is yes, give freely. If the answer is no, 10 seconds of silence may become the first boundary you truly choose.